Yeah. Shashini Shiva made this garland, so I have to wear it. I have to wear it at least for some time. Okay, greetings everyone. Now let me fix this. And all right. So, welcome to Sanga, speaking from Ljubljana, the city of love, right? That's what it means, the city of love. And we're in the home of Sundar Gopal and Tarani Saki and their son Isha and Satya, neither of whom are present. Oh, they're hiding in their rooms. And we have a whole crew of kirtaniyas here today. Yeah. Do we have mridanga?
Yeah.
Does Vijay could play mridanga when the time comes? Okay. Right, let's begin. Let's just begin. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatang Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanacha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome to each and every one of you, and specifically a welcome to Miriam. Hare Krishna, Miriam. Welcome. Miriam is at Radhadesh, and we met some time ago, some weeks ago. It was during Radhadesh Mellows, wasn't it? In January, end of January. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Do you want to say a couple of words about yourself, Miriam?
Hare Krishna. I'm from Luxembourg, and I met the devotees maybe a year ago. And since January, I really have the desire to be on this path. And so I'm very grateful to be in association with devotees. And yeah, thank you for inviting me, Mangala, for sending me the link to the Sanga. Hare Krishna.
Hey, thank you. We're kind of experimenting here with the sound system. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right, we have a song to go through of narottama-dāsa Thakura, and before that we have a review of last week's song, and then we have some singing of the song, and then we have a special treat after a little bit of narottama-līlā, and then we have a special presentation from Bhakta Doug. And then we'll see what happens. Okay. So the song we had last week, are we okay with our translators? Everybody is hooked up? Looks not that. Translators are all translating.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, translators for German language, Croatian and Spanish. And if I can say, the sound before was better than it is now. So I think it was from your computer mic.
Okay, so then go back.
And Polish translation as well.
Let me try one more thing here.
This is good, this one.
Does it work now okay?
Yes, this is perfect.
Okay, so that's perfect. So mic is now from the computer and audio is from there. So, okay.
We're ready to go. Okay. So then we have a song from last. Haribol. Welcome, welcome. Hare Krishna.
And switch on the sound for musician as well, Guru Maharaj, before you will start to sing.
Before, yes. Okay, so last week's song, Ebar Paile Deka Chorono Dukani Hiar Majare Raki Judavo Parani. I pray that I may now see the two lotus feet of Lord Krishna. I will place these lotus feet in my heart. I will dedicate my entire life and soul to it. So we had this interesting expression, charana dukani, the 2 feet, the 2, lotus feet, we may want to say. And he's making his dedication now. He wants to place these feet where? He wants to place them in his heart. Hiya. This hiya is from the Sanskrit hrida, becomes hiya, and then the possessive form hiyar of the heart. And majare, in the middle of the heart, I guess. So that's a nice meditation in itself, placing the lotus feet of the Lord in the heart. where they should be. Oh, look, it's raining now. Later, jumping a couple of verses to verse 4, Vrndavana puler gantia dibohar binaya bandivo chuda kuntalera bahar. I will string a garland of Vrindavan forest flowers and then present that garland to Lord Krishna. I will carefully arrange his hair and tie his top knot. That's interesting. So Narottama is anticipating some very intimate service. And he mentions Vrindavan, Vrndavana puler gantia dibohar. I will make a garland of Vrindavan forest flowers. This morning we were reading Bhagavatam, the chapter of Lord Brahma offering prayers to young Krishna after Brahma realizes his big mistake in trying to fool Krishna. He offers so many prayers, and then the verse we read says he ended his prayers and then he left. And he went back to his abode. And the question comes up, well, he's in Vrindavan. Why not just stay in Vrindavan? Once you're in, like Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur says, anyone who goes to Vrindavan and then leaves Vrindavan must be totally mad, must be crazy. So I'm quite crazy because I've left Vrindavan so many times. Anyway, he's being a little rhetorical. In any case, Narottama is anticipating being in Vrindavan and having Vrindavan forest flowers to offer to Krishna. Presumably, at the time of Narottama, there would have been a much richer variety of flowers than today. Still, in Vrindavan, there are a lot of flowers, so many roses, especially, isn't it? And the roses in Vrindavan, they actually smell, they actually have fragrance. Do the roses that you sell here, do they have fragrance? No. Vijay-Hari, a flower, a flower wala, a pool wala. Okay. He also anticipates in the last verse, Kapale tilaka dibo chandaner chand. Yeah, so this is describing just how Krishna, what sort of tilak does Krishna wear? It's not quite Gaudiya Vaishnava tilak. What? Isn't Krishna a Gaudiya Vaishnava? Well, he has chandaner chand. He has a moon made of chandan, of sandalwood paste, which, I don't know, I've always seen the pictures have him with a little sliver of a moon. So not a full moon spot, but isn't it? Yeah. So I will decorate Lord Krishna with a peacock feather, tilak markings, and a moon drawn in sandalwood paste. Well, he says as though something different from the tilak markings, but I'm suspecting that the tilak is the moon drawing. Narottama-dāsa says, in this way, I will gradually attain love for Lord Krishna. So the translator Dasharat Sutta Prabhu, I'm guessing, seems to add this word gradually. I will gradually attain love for Krishna. narottama-dāsa kohe piriter pant. Oh, we wanted to find out more exactly what this word pand means. But alas, we didn't do that. So that will remain a mystery for now. Pand. Today's song, Mathura-virohcita Darshan Lalasa, song number 3, Vasanti Rasa. Vasanti Rasa, spring rasa. From Prarthana. And this is a song that, as I remember, we used to see this, it was in some songbook. We had sort of standard ISKCON songbook. And then we didn't see it anymore. Vrndavana, ramya-sthāna, dibya-cińtāman dham, narottama-mandir, manohara, avrita, kālindī-nīre, rāja-ham keli-kare, tahe, shobe, kanaka-kamal. Beautiful Vrindavan is filled with Cintamani gems, jewels, and many jewel palaces. Ratana Mandir Manohar. Many palaces and temples, many regal swans play in the waters of the Yamuna, and in those waters, a splendid golden lotus flower grows. Okay. So Vrndavana, what is Vrndavana? It is ramya-sthāna. You can tell that to your daughter. Kirtidan, yeah. That her name is there in our holy songs. Is that a standard Slovenian name? No.
I think she's the only one in Slovenia.
Ah. Vrndavana, ramya-sthāna. It's so sthana means place, and yeah, it's filled with Cintamani gems. Ramya, I guess, is translated here as beautiful. Dibya-cińtāman dham. It's the dhamma, which consists of dibya-cińtāmani. And the word mani means jewels or jewel. And cinta can mean consciousness. So it's a place of conscious jewels. Everything is conscious in Vrindavan. Yeah. Hard to imagine, because where we are, there's lots of unconsciousness or seeming unconsciousness. I think a lot of had a lot more sense of the living character of the world, of everything in the world. Yeah. Avrita kālindī-nīre, rāja-ham keli-kare. So there's regal swans. Regal means royal. They play in the waters, keli-kare. And tahe shobe kanaka-kamal. It says there's one golden lotus flower in the Kalindi. Taramadye hema-pīta ashtadale beshtita ashtadale pradhan-nayaka. Taramadye ratnasane ba si achen dui-jane śyāma-sańge sundari radhika. In the middle of that lotus, oh, now I understand. Yes, there's one golden lotus. It's very special. Why? Because in the middle of that lotus is a golden place surrounded by 8 petals. On these 8 petals, the 8 principal gopis reside. And in the center, Lord Shyamasundar and beautiful Srimati Radharani sit on a jewel throne. So it's describing what is sometimes called a yoga-pīt. Pita means seat, and it's yoga because it's where all the connections are to the form. So we are in the place of Nava-yoga-pīt, right? And so it's nice to hear and sing about yoga-pīt here. The hema-pīta. Hema-pīta ashtadale veshtita. Ashtadale, dala of course is a petal. Ashtadale pradhan-nayaka. The main, on the 8 petals, ashtadale pradhan-nayaka, there's the 8 principal gopis. Pradhan can mean like principal. And then tara madhye. Madhye means in the middle of that, tar. Ratnasane, on a jeweled asana, baisi, baisi achen, boshi, it should be boshi achen. So are sitting dui-jane, 2 people. It's quite unspecific, 2 people. Śyāma-sańge sundari radhika. So then we know who is sitting there. No big surprise. O-rūpa-lāban rāshi amiya pariche kasi hāsya-parihāsa-sambhās. Narottama-dāsa koi nitya-līlā sukha-moy shadai spuruk more mone. The great beauty of the divine couple and their charming, joking, and continually showers nectar everywhere. Hāsya-parihāsa. They're joking and laughing. I think hasya is laughing, parihāsa is joking, maybe. Sambhāshane. Bhasha is language, so yeah, they're having lots of how to say linguistic fun, you could say. Pariche kasi, I don't know what this is. Then Narottama-dāsa koi, Narottama-dāsa says, nitya-līlā sukha-moy, this eternal lila is full of sukha. Moy from maya means full of or consisting of. And he's praying I pray that these blissful, eternal, transcendental pastimes of the divine couple Shaddai, always, and that short I at the end, Shaddai, that's an emphasis. That E makes it, Sada means always, and Sadai means really always, constantly. Sadai, spuruk, manifest, visible, like concretely touchable, spuruk, let it be manifest. More money in my mind, but he's translated as heart, because in this culture, mind and heart, there's not much distinction. Kind of the same. Right. More rain is coming. Okay, shall we try this? Now, first I have to turn something on. Okay, original sound from musicians is on. And then we shift this over here. And we turn that down. And we put that here. Okay. We have a serious backup band here today. Let's go a little lower. It's a very deep sound. Vrndavana, ramya-sthāna, dibya-cińtāman, Vrndavana, Sthana, dibya-cińtāman, Prarthana, mandira, kālindī-nīre, rāja-ham hema-pīt ashtadale beshtita dharamate hema-pīt ashtadale beshtita ashtadale Prarthana naika Ratnasane Boshiache dui-jane śyāma-sańge 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 o-rūpa-lāban ya-rāśi hāsya-parihāsa-sambhās narottama-dāsa nitya-līlā sukha-moy Sadai spuru mora mane Sadai spuru mora mane Sadai spuru mora mane Nice. So turn, yes. Okay. Now comes the moment you've all been waiting for all week. Because we left you with what we call in English a cliffhanger. Narottama, who will eventually become known as Narottama-dāsa Thakura. Now he's just little Narottama, has escaped from home. He has run away, taking the opportunity of being en route to the place of the king, of the Nawab, who had called for him, having heard of his great devotion. So he escapes from the soldiers, then the soldiers find him again, and they're going to take him home, and he now is so determined that he's going to go to Vrndavana that he tells these soldiers, no, you're not taking me anywhere. I am going to Vrndavana. And they're all kind of dumbfounded, I guess, as he just picks up and turns in the opposite direction and starts walking away. They seem to have felt, well, he is a prince's son. We can't, he's a prince, so we have to be respectful. We can't force him. And so he goes on his way. But of course, it's a long ways from wherever he was, somewhere in Bengal by that time, to Vrndavana. It's a very long way. And he's going by foot. And he has nothing with him. He has no food, nothing. But he's walking through villages, and the villagers are, it says here, spontaneously drawn to him. They understand this is no ordinary boy, and so they want to care for him. The village women are worried about him. Such a young sadhu, and still they recognize he's a sadhu, and sadhus, yeah, you serve them and you let them go. They would offer him food, they would offer him a bed, but he was too much in ecstasy, ecstatic mood, to accept very much. Okay, little food he would take, bed, no need. And he would just chant, and he would be awake practically the whole time at night. Okay, so this is going on, and but I'm getting ahead of myself, because what happened, I almost skipped the cliffhanger. Okay, so yeah, first he's wandering alone. He's wandering alone, and then this boy comes to him with some milk, but he doesn't accept the milk. And he collapses and he falls asleep under a tree. And then he wakes up and he's lamenting, where is Gauranga? Where is Gaurachandra? Where is Rupa? Where is Sanatan? Will I ever reach Vrindavan? So we can imagine it could have been, quite a desperate kind of condition he was in. Then this boy comes with a pot of milk and he says, please drink this. It'll take away your aches and pains. But it says here he was too tired to drink the milk. He couldn't. He was so exhausted. So he falls asleep, and here we are at the cliffhanger moment. He has another dream. This is, I believe it's his fourth dream. The first dream was of Nityananda Prabhu telling him to go to the river while he was in the palace. The second dream was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wasn't it? Saying, yes, come to Vrindavan. The third dream was the devotees of Mahaprabhu with Mahaprabhu at the Ganga, and they're all having kirtan, and they're encouraging him, come, come. But they're at the Ganga, not at the Yamuna. Now comes the fourth dream. What happens in the fourth dream? Both Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami appeared in this dream. They are glowing with their natural effulgence. They stand before Narottama. They're wearing upavita, sacred thread, tulsi mala, and very nice tilak. And they had very nice smiles. And they were chanting the holy name. And that's interesting, they were counting with their fingers. They didn't have japa-mala. They were counting with their fingers. Yeah. Narottama could smell the sweet aroma of their bodies when they leaned over and placed their hands on his chest. And then Rupa Goswami says, Narottama, you're still a child. And you're the son of a wealthy man. You've never experienced this kind of suffering. But we know that Mahaprabhu has empowered you to flood the world with Krishna Prema and to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. If you distribute this love, even the most sinful of men will be delivered. In the future, thousands and thousands of people will embrace Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and thus attain love of God. So, don't worry. Your sufferings will soon end. Seeing you so tired from your journey, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally brought this milk for you. So drink it and then go to Vrindavan. And then with these words, Rupa and Sanatan vanished. So Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis have come with a message. Don't give up. You can do it. And here's milk that will help you. And it's been brought personally by Lord Chaitanya. So that's the fourth dream. Well, Narottama wakes, he rubs his eyes, and he looks at the pot of milk that's there. And he's thinking, Mahaprabhu brought this for me. So then he very carefully takes the milk, making sure not to drop one drop. And as a result, his pain and his fatigue were forgotten. Imagine getting milk directly from Lord Chaitanya. All of his pain was gone. He felt fully rejuvenated. You know this word, rejuvenated? It comes from juvenile, yeah, which means youth. So it's a Latin word, joven. So rejuvenated, made again young. He felt completely young again. I mean, he's quite young. We don't know exactly how young, but now he feels again strong. And he's remembering Srila Rupa Goswami's words. And so then he continues his journey. And then it's described, he goes through different villages and the people are all amazed by him and they recognize he's a sadhu, so they respect him. He's young, so the ladies are concerned. What is your mother thinking? Okay. And that's the end of chapter 2. I'll just read, I'll reread, I guess we've read the verse that was in the beginning of chapter 2. Is it? Somewhere? Well, it doesn't say. Yeah, I couldn't guess. I don't know if it's mentioned anywhere. I don't think so. Sankirtan ananda jamanda hasya dantadyuti jyotita dinmukhaya svedashudara snapitaya tasmai namo namaha shila narottama. Whoops. Namo namah shila narottamaya. I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances to Srila Narottam-das Thakur, whose face is bathed in perspiration and torrents of tears due to the bliss of chanting the holy names. His gladdening smile and shining teeth illuminate all directions. So that's Narottam-das Thakur ki jai. So he's on his way to Vrndavana, and I'm sure he's going to eventually arrive in Vrndavana. What do you think? Could happen, yes. Right, okay. Again, welcome to all of you who have joined us a bit later. And, oh, I see Prataparudra is here. Haribol Prataparudra. Nice to see you. How's everything?
Yeah, everything is fine. Baby's now sleeping and wife also. Or
Okay.
maybe she's listening with him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Babies do a lot of that, sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Still.
Sleeping, eating, some crying, and some gradually some crawling, and then some walking, and putting everything in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. They experience the world through their mouth.
eyes. It is
Yeah.
it's like they are using senses, and
Mm-hmm.
but tongue is very preferred sense.
Yes. Good. Okay. A little bit of show and tell from me is that we started this last Sunday, our online course introducing the Bhagavatam through the OCHS. And we had no idea how many are going to sign up for the course. And I had no idea, but I was thinking, yeah, maybe it'll be 10 or 15 people will sign up. But no, it's not 10 or 15, it's 75. We have 75 students. And they're from all over the world. Australia, several in Australia, and yeah, all over. And many of them have been taking many of the courses of the OCHS already. One person said, I think I've taken all the courses so far that the OCHS offers. But this one I haven't taken yet, so I have to, yeah. So they're very, very much into it, and they're very inquisitive, which means, because Radhika and I are both sort of co-teaching this course, we're alternating weeks of responding to questions that come on the forum. So it's only written forum, and then we have these pre-recorded lectures, and they have selections of readings that we give them. So we're alternating responding to their questions and comments. And this last week, it's been Radhika Raman. This coming week, I'm going to be in the answering mode. So that's probably going to keep me rather busy, judging from how much they're responding and asking things in the first week. And we'll see. So as the saying goes, it keeps me off the streets, which for devotees is not necessarily a good thing. We should be on the streets chanting Hare Krishna. Anyway, okay. Right, so I think it's time for a visit to Snoot Farms. What do you think, Doug? Oh, Rasa Daddy, you wanted to comment?
Not comment, but Guruvara just said that your book is out.
Oh, volume 2
Bhagavatam.
is out. Wow, very nice. Jai Jai.
And it just came yesterday from the printer. And I'm supposed to ask devotees also who are enthusiastic for distribution. Let's see. Like that.
Yes, you can distribute on the streets. Oh,
well, we can do some distribution on the streets. Yes, I think this is the best book for the distribution so far, because it's not like devotees text, or
it doesn't depend on knowing so many things. Yeah,
this is about avatars. Everyone know about movie Avatar. We have many avatars, and just giving them book and like that. And about avatars, and I'm seriously thinking about translating to Croatian also.
Oh, okay.
So there are some devotees who would like to sponsor a book. So let's see.
Good. Well, thank you for arranging it as you have. Wonderful.
If you agree to book next Sunday to the Zagreb temple, if you would like,
Why not?
of course, you are not supposed to
Promote,
make
I know.
marketing on the Vyasa, yeah, promote, but I can say something,
Yeah.
standing there, and maybe devotees will be interested in the
Yeah.
like that.
Speaking of avatars, I remember, and some of you will remember, so many years ago when that film was out here, and Avatar was the name of the film, right? And we did a public program called 10 Avatars. And we even had one big billboard devotees arranged. Was it two? Two billboards, two, big size billboards.
4, Guru Maharaj.
4.
Yes.
Keep going. 8, 16. But the advertising started rather late, wasn't it? It was kind of last minute. It was like, what, 1 week or something? I don't know. But anyway, a fair number of people came. It was a very nice hall. And what was the name of that hip-hop singer who was kind of an MC?
Terkai.
Tirkai.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the MC. He was MC1, and you, Odarya Chandrika, were MC number 2, right?
No, actually, he was MC, and Gaura Chandranana Mataji from Kran, from Slovenia, she was translating you. And
Oh, right.
Gaura Nataraj was dancing on each avatar.
Yeah, that was so nice.
Yes.
We were going to do a whole Ram Leela production, weren't we?
Yes, that was the plan, Guru Maharaj.
Whatever happened to that?
We can still try again, Guru Maharaj.
Something to think about.
Okay.
Okay, Doug, are you there?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Are you ready with taking us to the land of the many sorts of beings?
Yes. Let me see, do I have permission to share my screen?
Yes, yes, we have.
Okay. And is there a time limit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that?
No, for this, I think we're in no big rush.
Okay. Let's see. And for some reason this doesn't always work, but one second. This is a particularly frustrating thing with my Zoom. Okay.
Just now coming.
So does anybody know there's this issue with Zoom about how it won't let you share whiteboards?
Oh,
Someone is sharing whiteboards?
Yeah,
You would like to share whiteboards, or someone is sharing whiteboards?
let me try. I can just try, excuse me, downloading this as a PDF. It'll take 1 second instead of the slideshow. Sorry for the delay, but
You do a slideshow with whiteboard.
Not intentionally. That's my mistake. But this should be just fine. Okay. That you see that?
Not yet. We
The
see.
screen sharing is paused. Does that ring a bell for anybody?
Can I ask you, did you update, today was the update for the Zoom? Have you managed to do that? Because it's a quite big, it was quite a big update. Everything changed.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of.
Oh no. No, I have not done that.
Maybe you can go out from the Zoom, do the update, and then come back.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it takes only 1 minute.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
See you soon. Okay. Meanwhile, anybody? Huh?
No.
Anyone else have something you want to share in the meantime? Any news from Pula, Esther?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
The news we got are still uncertain, but we are very hopeful. I was with Mani Manjari at the festival it was called Bhakt Retreat in last month. So there were Keshava Maharaj and Sachinanda Maharaj, and actually already before Sachinanda Maharaj told us that he is not available for our festival, the same one which we asked you. And then, before going to the festival, I was speaking with devotees, and then we had this intention to ask Keshava Maharaj if he could come together with our Ananda-tirtha Maharaj, who already told us, okay, I will find time for you, but you have to find another preacher for her, because I cannot be alone. It is too much for me to hold the whole festival, just one person, and then, although we didn't know the Keshava Maharaj personally, just from lectures, and actually six or seven of us from Croatia approached him and presented the possibility, invitation, and also invited him to Croatia. And all the devotees also from other regions also were preparing what they can offer to Maharaj. Some of them have some connections to the university there in Zagreb. I was also asking Vraja Lilavati prior to that if she can do the similar thing like when she was organizing with you, but she when I mentioned to her that the time we planned we scheduled the festival, it is the time with the exams, so she couldn't. And then Maharaj it took us quite optimistic somehow. And then he said, okay, I really, really like all the possibilities, because I mentioned also Ishodyan with the preaching program in Rijeka, and then we explained to Maharaj that like in Zagreb there are like more groups, but we would like him to come to all the places, not that we take over just because we also explained that we would like a person who is coming to be like kind of an agent who is trying to connect all the devotees a little bit. And he was joking that we don't make a pressure to him at all. Yes, but then said, okay, he apologized that this year he is not available, but we will try to make for the next year.
Next year, okay.
And so then I immediately informed all the devotees, and also Krishna Jivani, who offered her a podcast with Maharaj and like that. And then, so because you are asking me now to tell about the news, in my mind it was the idea, now you are coming to Croatia, and we will also try to ask you for a third person if for the next year. if it is maybe not already that you're too booked.
Well, it's hard for me to plan so far in advance. But we can have it in mind. You can keep reminding me.
Okay, I will.
All right. So how are we doing, Doug?
Let's see. Give this one more shot, and then I have another idea if this doesn't work, but
We
aha,
got it.
that's visible.
Yes, very nice.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm so grateful to be a part of this Saturday Sangha and to be with you, Maharaj, and all of the devotees around the world. And I'm just going to give a brief background to my farm sanctuary that my wife and I have here in Alachua, Florida. If you've never heard of Alachua, it is the biggest Hare Krishna community in North America, I believe. And my wife, Sharanagati, was born and raised here in Alachua. But the background to this is that we had been living in cities for a long time. We lived in Chicago for a while, and then we moved to Los Angeles. And we always had this dream of having a farm sanctuary, probably when we were much older and retired and all of that. But what happened was during COVID in Los Angeles, it was, we were already feeling very disconnected there. The temple was very far away from where we lived. And COVID came, the lockdown came, so there was a virus, then there was an earthquake, and then a fire. And we said, okay, it's time to get out of here. So we just decided to point towards Alachua and move there. And we did, and by Krishna's arrangement, we were able to, within less than a year, purchase this property that is about 8 acres in Alachua.
Which year was that?
We moved here at the end of 2020 and into the house in 2021. And as I'll show you, things progressed very quickly. So as you may have gathered, we have lived in cities. We are not farmers. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're learning with the help of a lot of people in the community. So this is a brief history because we've only been with this sanctuary for a couple of years. So in 2021, we moved here, and our friend Mitra Das here helping us move in. And it's this beautiful property where it was set up for horses. The previous owners had horses, and we just loved the land. It was quiet and a change from Los Angeles. So it all, if you've looked at the website, you may have learned that it all started with a duck. What happened was if I go back, my wife and I were walking around the property the day we moved in, and my mother-in-law noticed that there was a duck wandering around. It turned out that this duck was left here by accident by the previous owners. And there was already a little house, a coop for the duck. I guess there were a lot of other ducks that escaped and were gone, but there was just this one lonely duck in this coop. So the previous owners said, consider it a gift. You can keep her. And we soon learned that ducks are terrified of being alone. Often, if they don't have companions, people put a mirror out so they can see if they have a friend. They need relationships. So shortly after this, within a matter of days, my wife had rescued another duck. So now there were 2. And you can kind of see where this is going. One led to many, and then these guys, since the land is very dry, they needed a pond, so we started to build a pond. And we were just loving it. The animals really put a smile on your face. And then meanwhile, this started happening. We had the opportunity to rescue some sheep. In Florida, these are called hair sheep, where you don't have to shear them with scissors or anything. They just shed off their fur. They rub it off. And these four we rescued from a pretty bad situation. And we didn't really know how to care for sheep, but we had the opportunity and the lands, and we just decided to try. I mean, they were going to be slaughtered for meat, so it was worth a try. And there's some hard lessons learned, like this beautiful little black sheep was taken by a coyote, so we lost her. So we had to learn how to fortify, to make our property even safer. And we were able to save a couple cows. So these two cows lived on this little tiny dirt lot. There were about 40 cows on let's see, in meters, probably 15 by 15 meters, a very small encampment, I would say, with no access to grass or anything, just grain. They were being raised for slaughter. So we got these two lovely cows, and they took to the place very quickly. They had never had grass before, and you can see they were kind of small and skinny, but they quickly adjusted and started putting on a lot of weight, and they're just the most wonderful cows. On top of that, Christmas 1 year ago, we had the opportunity to rescue two little pigs where the rest of this litter had died, and they had survived. Their mother had rejected them. So they hadn't had any access to milk, and they weren't eating, and they were 1 day old and most likely going to die. I was very reluctant to get pigs because I was told it's a lot of work. But again, by Krishna's arrangement, we received a large donation shortly after, and we were able to build a big area for these types of animals. So we did our best. We bottle fed them, and then they've grown up to be kind of the stars of Snoot Farms. Everyone seems to really like these guys, and they're very, very clean. They're very smart, very stubborn, but they're wonderful animals, and kids really love being around these guys because they're kind of the size of small dogs, and they're sweet, and they listen to commands, and they sit. So this was all great. Everyone was very happy, and there was a good reason. It turns out that some of the sheep we had rescued were pregnant. And it's very, very difficult to tell that a sheep is pregnant because they eat a lot of grass and they sort of swell up. And it's not until the last couple weeks where you can really see the udder come in where you realize that they're actually pregnant. So we had no idea. And on the farm, again, we're not farmers. We didn't really know what we were doing, but thank you to Google Docs, we learned that we can do this ourselves. And it's not too hard. You kind of let nature just do its thing and get out of the way. So one sheep had two lambs on April 1st, and their names are April and Uno. And then this sheep named Tofu had a little girl named Garbanzo. And then this sheep, this is actually a sheep, not a goat. Her name is Bean. And excuse me, Tofu had a baby named Sprout, and Bean had a baby named Garbanzo. So we were on a bean theme at the moment, but now all of a sudden we had, you know, a plethora of sheep running around, but it was really fun. And I can't help but show you some nice pictures of cute little. These are the twins, April and Uno, and they're since much bigger, but I had to show you the lamb pictures. So fast forward to today, you know, what does Snood Farms look like? It started off with one duck a couple of years back, and now we have about 25 animals. And this is not our full-time job, but we live on the farm and they're quite easy to take care of. So here you can see we've named some of the designated areas. Snoots is just a funny name for a nose. And so that's pointing to the pasture where all the, you know, cows and sheep, the things with cute noses are. So these are all just signs for fun little areas when people come and take a tour of the farm. They can see the designated spots. A couple wonderful things that have come out of this are that my parents, who live in the northern part of the United States in a state called Vermont, which is very cold in the winter, they had a tiny house built at the back of our property. And they come and live with us for a few months out of the year. And the rest of the time, we offer the house to devotees or other people that need a place to stay, and they get the experience of being around farm animals and learning that they're actually very affectionate, very sweet. They have very big personalities, and they just generally improve your mood a great deal. And the cows are wonderful at turning really bad soil into plentiful gardens. So we've been working on sort of a regenerative process to just turn the soil here from sand into a very rich soil based on what the cows offer and composting system. So we have plenty of food to share thanks to the animals. So we've grown quite a bit. We have some new birds, crazy looking birds. The sheep, this is one of the little lambs who's grown up now. And the pigs being well behaved for the camera. A couple new baby ducklings. And it's just really, really nice. You know, everyone's kind of allowed to just roam wherever they want and do what they would do in nature instead of being confined. We have a turkey. Guru Maharaj, I'm not sure if you met Tammy the turkey when you were here, but she's a big hit.
Yeah.
Another new sheep. We have some these are sort of endangered tortoises that live on the property. They're pretty wonderful. And yeah, so that you were able to visit and meet all the animals and meet my parents, and got to take a nice rest back here in that camper.
Yeah.
And we had a wonderful day. And if I could, maybe I can just, I'm not sure if this will work, but in the meantime, if there are any questions, I'm going to try and see if I can share the website.
I'm curious, you mentioned visitors. Are you getting a lot of visitors?
The truth is we could probably, full disclosure, we could probably take more. My wife and I are a little bit, I don't know if this is a universal word, but a little bit introverted. So I don't have a lot of people come visit, but they can sign up online to schedule a time to come visit. But friends and families come over all the time with their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. This seems to be working.
That's your website.
Yeah. So this is, if you want to stop by sometimes, it's called snootfarms.com. And we have some background stories, how you can support the farm, a blog about, what's been happening lately. You can meet each of the animals and learn about their funny personalities.
Potato.
Potato, he is self-described foodie, if you know what that means. But he's there's just funny little anecdotes about each of the animals. And then you can adopt them virtually. So there are ways to adopt a cow or the whole flock, that sorts of thing. With the
Or
wonders of the
do you have adopters?
Yeah. It's usually around the holidays, Christmas and everything. People look for ways to give it a nice, they can adopt on behalf of somebody in their name.
Right.
So that's not, we don't get a general stream of people donating. It's usually around particular holidays. But a lot of people seem to like the merchandise we have, the shirts and all that. You can learn a little bit more about our story. It all started with the duck. And then we need to do a better job of this, but we keep a blog of that you can subscribe to about new animals we've rescued. And that's the story. That's New Farms. I wish I could have given you a live tour, but it's not really possible given the bandwidth out here, but that's our story.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bravo. So Snoot Farms is a destination. It's a place to go. If any of you online now ever want to, if you're ever going to America, go to Florida, North Florida, go to Alachua, and somewhere in the country, Alachua is mainly country, and then there's a little town, but yeah, you can go and visit. Very nice, thank you. Interesting, that really changed your life, didn't it? Having, from Los Angeles to to Snoot Farm.
Yes, it was the right decision, that's for sure.
No regrets.
No regrets.
You said that you and your wife are both introverted. I don't know if I'm convinced of that.
It's the kind of thing where you can fake it till you make it. You can put on the extroverted hat when needed.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
There are a few
Onward.
questions. Few questions are in chat, Guru Maharaj, for that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just now seeing. There was a question about how the sheep came. You said you rescued them, and there, Martina's wondering from where, whether it was a slaughterhouse or individual farmer, I guess.
Often people just find our website. They type it in. We've, nearby farm sanctuary. It's all over the place. People that just don't want to take care of their animals anymore. They don't have the space, or they're trying for all different reasons. It's usually through the website. And then the other question about, did we buy the land with the intention of turning it into a sanctuary? Yes, but we figured it would be maybe 20 years from now and not 2 weeks from when we bought the house. So it just worked out that way, and we're glad it did. We love it. And the last question, there's not much work involved. there is work involved, but on a day-to-day basis, cows and sheep are very self-sufficient. They just graze. And as well as the birds, you just have to put the birds away at night because there are a lot of foxes and coyotes around here. And the pigs, you just sort of scatter food around because they like to hunt for it. They like to root around. Real work comes when they get sick, and that's happened a lot. And we generally rely on donations for that. It can be expensive. And down the road, these are all young animals. So as they get to be older, it will be a much bigger commitment that we're ready for, but it will be different. It'll be much bigger, much more work, and require a lot more fundraising.
Yeah. But you're anticipating, you're already seeing that it's not going to take you by surprise. So that's good.
I certainly hope not. But sheep, it turns out sheep do not like to live very much. They like to find a way to get sick. They need constant care, veterinary care.
Oh, okay. You mentioned that Sharanagati was born and raised in Alachua, so she's very, very much at home there, I guess.
Yeah. It was a COVID phenomenon where a lot of so-called second generation devotees moved away from Alachua when they got older. But then when COVID came, everyone was older and had families, and they all decided they wanted a lot of them to return to Alachua. So a lot of her childhood friends are here, and a great community of people our age.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I can say from my very brief visit this last time, and also so many years before, Alachua is quite an interesting, let's say, phenomenon. Some years ago when I was there, I was teaching in the university. That was 2006. And the estimate I heard was some 1,000 devotees are living in the Alachua, Gainesville area. I don't know what the number is now. That was some years
People
ago.
say have ordered 10,000 to 12,000 to 12,000.
10 to 12,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's counting the itty bitty devotees that are
the itty bitties, the ones who come once or twice a year to the temple. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon, I would say, that they've all. One might ask, why so many devotees in that area? And as I understand, the main initial reason was that real estate properties were very cheap. Well, probably not so cheap, but back then they were. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Doug. Snoot Farms, Kijai. It seems like you're anticipating eventually having more than one farm, since you call it in plural, Snoot Farms. So, yeah, it could become a franchised system, right?
My wife is a bigger dreamer than I am. She anticipates a very big operation.
Great. Okay. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Now share screen. And let's move that out of the way. Okay, we continue with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-līlā, chapter 14, in which little Nimai has been apparently somewhat mischievous. Actually, much more detail about this is given in Chaitanya Bhagavata. And the one mischief that I always remember from Chaitanya Bhagavata is how Nimai, with his friends, they would go to the Ganga to swim, and the Brahmins would be there, and the Brahmins would be chanting their Gayatri, as is done standing in the water up to the waist. So they would bathe and then stand in the water and chant Gayatri mantras. And while they're chanting Gayatri, presumably their noon Gayatri mantra, what would little Nimai do? He would swim underwater and swim between their legs and disrupt them. So one can sort of imagine, I mean, we usually think of, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's God. And he's nicely dressed with everything shining and everything like that. But imagine he's a young boy who is swimming in the Ganga, very mischievously making trouble for the Brahmins. Okay, so Jagannath Mishra, his father, considers himself as father needing to discipline his son sometimes. Atta shuni dui-jagela haya anandita Mishra jagya hayila paramavismita. Being very pleased, the Brahmin left. This was telling about a Brahmin who appears in the dream and says, "You don't know what you're doing. This boy is no ordinary boy." And Jagannath Mishra awakes from his dream, and he was vismita. He was astonished. Okay, let's. Bandhu bandhavasthane shapna kahila shuniya shakhala loka vismita hoila. He related the dream to his friends and relatives, and every one of them was very much astonished to hear vismita, which is a very Sanskrit word. A lot of Krishnadas Kaviraj uses a very strongly Sanskritic type of Bengali. He was himself a very accomplished writer in Sanskrit, because before he wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he wrote one book in Sanskrit. What was the name of that book? Don't all speak at once. Govinda-līlamrita. I can see you're ready to know that. Govinda-līlamrita, in which he describes Krishna's pastimes in Vrndavana according to Ashtakalya-līla. What means Ashtakalya-līla? Ashtama, yes, but it's also called Ashtakalya. Nothing to do with the snake. Nothing to do with that. That's Kalya. and this is Kaliya. Yes. Yes, Kala means time, so related to time is Kaliya. And Ashta means 8, so 8 times of the day. So it's giving the a kind of, it's a meditation. It's raga, nuga, sadhana, bhakti, that you meditate. Oh, now it's, this particular time of day, so this is the time to remember that Krishna is, if it's morning time, okay, now Krishna is going to the forest, and that will be described in great detail, and so on. E motta shishulila hore gora chandra dine dine pitta matar badai anando. In this way, Gora Hari performed his childhood pastimes and day after day increased the pleasure of his parents. Badai means increasing. What was he increasing? Ananda, the bliss of his parents from day to day. So this is called Shishu Lila. Shishu means small child, and Lila means Lila. So a motto in this way, Shishu Lila Kare Gora Chandra, Dine Dine, day by day, Pita Matar, Badai Ananda. So he's just summarizing what is given in much more detail in Chaitanya Bhagavata. And what is it called? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think, Murari Gupta's Sanskrit poem. Kotodine Mishra Putra Hate Karidila Alpadine Dvadashapala Akshara Shikila. After some days, Jagannath Mishra inaugurated, means he began, the primary education of his son by performing the Hate Kari ceremony. Within a very few days, the Lord learned all the letters and combinations of letters. So Nima is learning to write. And hate means in the hand, and kari means chalk in the hand. So this is the initiation into education, hate kari. It's also called vidya-arambha, right? Vidya-arambha, the beginning of education. It mentions here Dvadasha Pala, 12 combinations of letters. I'm not sure what that means. Of course, there are combinations in the Devanagari script. So, for example, the sound, just taking this verse, which is Bengali, so Mishra, so the shra sound, that's going to be a combination of sha and ra, and they kind of get put together in a certain way. Most of them are quite simple. Often they just kind of put them together left and right, sometimes one on top of the other. But some of the letters, they look different when they're combined. Yeah. So I guess there's 12 sorts of combinations of letters. Yeah. Prabhupada mentions here in the purport, this day is called Vidya-arambha. Oh, and he gives us, let's see. well, we can just read. The 12 phala, or combinations of letters, are called repa, murdhanya, na, dantavya, murdhanya na, dantavya na, ma, ya, ra, la, va, r, l, and l. It looks like there's no difference between those last two L's with a dot. One of them should have a long line over the top. It's a very, very rare, rarely used letter. Okay. That first day, he's guiding the student, holding the hand and having them move to make that. And there's a
Looks like that Guru Maharaj, because of the internet issue, probably he allowed. Let's wait on him. Guru Maharaj, can you unmute yourself, please? Because we cannot hear you.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, this is coming to the end of this chapter, apparently. Balya-līlā sutra ekoila anukram i-dhāma avistariyachin Dasa Vrndavana. This is a synopsis of the childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, placed here in chronological order, anukrama. Vrndavana Das Thakura has already elaborately explained these pastimes in his book, Chaitanya Bhagavata. Elaborate vistariyachin. Vistara in Sanskrit means extended, expanded. So that's basically it, I think. Ataiva elila sankepe sutra koila punarukti bhaye vistarya nakahila. I've therefore made only a brief summary, being afraid of repetition. I have not elaborated upon this subject matter. Punar ukti bhaye, being afraid, bhaye, or in fear of punar ukti. Ukti means speaking, statement, and punar is. So I don't want to repeat what's already been given by Vrndavana Das Thakura. And therefore, sankshepe, in brief, literally thrown together. Sangshepe. Sutra, like we read briefly from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras this morning. So these are, in a sense, also sutra. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jaro As Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, Dasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. So the next chapter is going to be the Lord's ndāvana. Okay. I thought I'll end there because it's the end of a chapter. A good place to end. And yeah, next week I'm going to be in sadhana ashram, Krishna willing. So we should be able to continue there. Any thoughts, reflections, questions, complaints, anything you read this week that made you stunned and the hair standing on end? No. I'm continuing with my writing as you know, gradually working on this book, but as it happens, just when I'm kind of working on something, then someone writes to me and says, could you please write an article for such and such book that we're going to publish? And I kind of go, oh no, how can I say no? So there's a new project that's come up, which I may be taking part in. There's some devotees who are editing what's called an edited volume, and it's going to be on Indian concepts of God. And they're asking me to write an article on, Gaudiya Vaishnava concept of God. So let's see if I can manage that. Okay, that's kind of it from me. We have a little bit of time left. Oh, dear Lalita, you were going to tell us something about your garden, I think. We don't hear you, even though you're, doesn't look like you're muted, but we don't hear you. Oh. No, okay. Well, then, anyone else have a garden you want to tell us about? Kavi Chandra visited Sadhu Bhavan to check on his garden, his oriental garden, a couple of weeks ago. Darya Chandrika, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, because it's a few minutes, maybe just to show Adidhaivika in our material world, because 10 days ago was quite a huge storm here in Dubai. And maybe it's a small clip, like for 40 seconds. Maybe I can show you that you will see the result, what happened.
Okay.
It was really not nice, but yeah. Okay, let me just share the screen, just a second. I have it on WhatsApp, so it will be from WhatsApp. Okay, here it is. Share screen and sound. I need to put the sound as well, of course. Okay. So you can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this what happened like 10 days ago.
Dubai is facing the heaviest rainfall in 75 years. But that's not even the craziest part. The city is practically underwater, and it all started with a good intention gone horribly wrong. Remember how they try to make it rain more in deserts by messing with clouds? Well, Dubai tried that to fight their dryness, but now the rain just won't stop. Malls are flooded, homes are underwater, and forget about summer vacations. Airplanes can't even take off anymore. It's like a real-life apocalypse, but instead of zombies, it's rain everywhere. Is this what happens when we mess with nature? Dubai is facing the heavy...
Yes.
Yeah, I read something about that. A desert, and then suddenly there's a flood. Yeah. Messing with nature.
Messing with nature, exactly, yeah. And then this is the result.
Yeah. But you were not so affected?
No, luckily not. I mean, every home, each home from devotees were not affected. Like maybe then we make, I mean, it's not a joke, but we connected with Indra Prabhu that, I mean, Indra, that he learned the lesson. Don't be...
You reminded him.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, actually, many people lost their cars, and of course, it was home. There were also a lot of damage was in a home. But now, like today, it's like nothing happened. Everything comes back like in a daily life. But yeah, the consequences can be seen.
Ah, yes. And who would expect, who would have imagined that it would happen there? You know, people would say, well, yeah, storm in Slovenia, was it last year that the houses were sliding down and so on?
Yeah.
So that we can imagine, but a storm in Dubai? Okay. Never a dull moment, but as you said, this is adidaivic, yes, adidaivica klesha.
Yeah.
The word is klesha, which can mean something like misery. Yeah. So I think we can end there. And I'll say thank you all very much, and especially thanks to our translators. And we wish you a wonderful week. Finally, the spring is here and the summer is coming. And we can remember Krishna. Krishna is Surya Narayana. So every time we see the light of the sun, right? Raso hamap sukonteya prabhasmi shashi suryaya. Shashi suryaya. Pranava sarvavedeshu shabdake purusham vishu. We can remember that Krishna in the taste of liquid or water, and we can remember in the light of the sun and the moon, and we can remember in the syllable Om, and we can remember in the abilities which we all have. We all have so many abilities. Who is giving us these abilities, after all? Did we just make them ourselves? Not really, no. Okay, have a good week. Keep safe, keep sane. Don't get into any floods. Chant and be happy, and Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so
Hari
much, Guru
Bol.
Maharaj.
Jai Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Bol.
All glories